Now, in your Week 15 picks column in predictions, you tabbed the Dolphins as a team who could upset the Steelers on Monday Night Football. For the Bengals and Ravens, they need the Steelers to lose. So why does Miami, though, have a chance to win after the way they start up the season so poorly?
Well, we know the Dolphins are one of the hottest teams in the NFL right now. They have won 4 straight games. But we also know if there is one team that hates playing in cold weather, it is the Dolphins. They have lost 11 straight games in sub-40-degree weather, dating all the way back to 2017, and that includes playoff games. Tua has been bad in cold weather. The coaching's been bad in cold weather. The Dolphins have just been a disaster in cold weather. So now, why would I think they could pull off the upset on Monday night in Pittsburgh in the middle of December where it's going to be cold? I actually think that Mike McDaniel has kind of been looking toward these cold weather games, trying to figure out how he can get his offense to play better. And what they have done during this winning streak, we are looking at it right now, is they've kind of pushed Tua to the side where they're not asking him to do everything. And instead, they're leading on their rushing attack. And Devon Achane has just been going off. And we're looking at that. That is first in the NFL over the past 4 weeks at over 190 rushing yards per game. So you take that offense, that rushing attack that has been red hot, and they get to face a Steelers defense that has given up over 200 rushing yards per game over the past 2 weeks in 2 straight games. So teams have just been steamrolling them. We saw last week, TJ Watt said the Bills were just running the same play all game, just giving it to James Cook, and he was getting big chunks, and the Steelers couldn't stop it. So if the Dolphins could do something similar, they put up huge numbers, and if they get going on the ground, that is the path to their upset. You don't have to worry about the weather if you're running the ball well. I think Miami can do it, and I think they can pull off the upset, Chris.
Yeah, this division is far from being decided. Going to be plenty of chaos down the stretch between these teams. Now, who ends up realistically, though, winning the division?
Yeah, we went through the scenarios that say, hey, the Bengals could win it at 7-10. The Ravens could win it at 7-10. When it boils down to who I'm actually picking to win this division, I think it is going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers. I feel like they probably go 9-8. You look at their schedule, they have the Dolphins this week. They have the Detroit Lions in week 16. So 2 difficult games coming up. But as long as they beat the Browns in week 17 and they beat the Ravens in week 18, that feels like it will be enough to get them in. And if they slip up in one of those games, there's a very realistic scenario where 8-9 wins this division. I don't think that would be that shocking, but I do think it will end up being the Steelers. Maybe Mike Tomlin keeps his track record of finishing over 500 alive. Maybe he doesn't, but I think he would take 8-9 if that means the Steelers get in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, everybody would, right? Because you feel much more confident as a coach when you're playing in the postseason or coaching the postseason as opposed to watching the postseason. John Breach, always appreciate the insight, man. Thanks so much. So an absolutely loaded slate this Sunday on CBS. 2 10-game winning streaks are on the line as the Patriots host the Bills at 1 p.m. Eastern and the Broncos hosting the Packers at 4:25. We'll also see the Bengals and Ravens battle it out with their playoff hopes in the balance. You can stream all the action on Paramount Plus. Make sure to tune in to CBS Sports HQ for pre- and post-game coverage.
They were all in the stands yelling, "I hate you," in different ways.
Yep.
Like, it kind of feels like that.
Yeah,
and you just get to appreciate that. Yeah.
There was his farewell commercial. I do remember that. And then Rodgers at his post-game press conference, when asked what this means, this win means with what everyone's been saying about Mike Tomlin, and he basically said maybe it'll just shut you all up for the week. Did you see that one, Cam?
I hadn't really paid attention to that one, but that's not surprising by Aaron to say that. You know, it's going to shut them up for a week, but they'll be right back on Saturday ready to fire up.
Well, I mean, it is that time of year, I guess, and it has just been a season that is there, though, for you guys to take. I mean, it's right there where you are taking this lead in the division into Monday Night Football against the Dolphins team that would love to get back to 500. And then, you know, it's going to be a Rodgers tour, one last kick around in the NFC North for him, where visiting Detroit, and then you got that Cleveland matchup before you see Baltimore again. What are you guys thinking about the possibilities of making this a 5-game win streak, going into the playoffs, massive momentum, and going on a run here, Cam?
I think that's the way we look at it. We want to get hot late, but it's not just consuming all 5 games at one time. It's taking one game at a time. And Miami's trying to get to 500. They're a very good team, run the ball very well. A lot of respect for those guys. From where they started to where they are now. But man, if we can get hot at the right time and then go in these playoffs with some steam, I think that creates for everything we want. And you had told me at the beginning of the year we'd be in December in first place in our division. That's where we want to be, and we got some work to do. But I like it that way, and hopefully we can hit our stride late.
In the few minutes I have left with you, Alex Highsmith, your teammate, was the Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee from your team. You're a guy who wears that patch on the chest. It may be the greatest patch in all of sports. What's your thoughts on hearing that about your teammate trying to follow in your footsteps, Cam?
Alex is so deserving of the nomination. It's not just him being a part of his own events. He attends my events, and this award is about giving back in different ways and being a person of the people. And I'm very thankful to have brothers throughout this league that have done it at a high level. And Alex is a culmination of that. And I watch what he does. I watch how he cares about people. I watch how he donates his time back to Charlotte as well. His story is unbelievable. Being a walk-on at Charlotte and transforming his body the way he did to going on to be a pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers and be that guy, be high level. When I look at him and TJ and Herbig, man, there's no Batman and Robins. It's a bunch of Batmans out there, and those guys are very special. And Alex is doing it at a very high level. Well, and then before I let you go, I'm going to turn you into pundit, since that may be in your future, if that's who you so choose when you're done playing. What'd you think of the news that Phillip Rivers is coming off the couch and he's back with the Colts right now, Cam? And they are legit talking about he could start at Seattle on Sunday at age 44, Cam. What do you think about this? So what came to mind was, I know he has 10 kids. And I was like, that health insurance ran out. And so now it's time to restart that thing. But I just it's crazy. He's like 45 years old with a 2-year-old. I'm like, I can't go back to that well. I can't go back to diapers. And that's the crazy part about me. But and then I just think taking all that time off and then saying, hey, I'm gonna strap it up. I'm gonna get tackled. Luckily, he's got a great O-line. I got a lot of respect for those guys. They're gonna have to keep him up. But 45, jumping right back into this, it's going to be tough. Well, maybe he wants to get away from the 2-year-old for 4 weeks. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a bad, you know what I mean? As long as he's got a good safety net at home, like maybe, Indianapolis in the cold right now is not a bad idea. I'll go run away from DeMarcus Lawrence if I have to, I mean. You know what I'm saying? Like now you're asking Phil to run away. That's not nice. You're asking Phil to run away.
She's saying,
no, I know that. I mean, that was never his forte either. But I mean, neck up, right? Like he's got it. That's got to be as sharp as ever, right? Like, I mean, he can dissect something pre-snap. He says he's been watching a lot of football too. It's just the question of the rigors of 60, 70 plays, and will he be able to take care of himself, right? Like that's it. I also think we've been missing the Phillip Rivers trash talking for some time now. So I'm excited to watch Phil just light somebody up like first play and just get under somebody's skin. Like, that's going to be fun to watch. So you're saying he never needs you in the stomach? No. Cam? No. Hey, you know what? I'm going to make sure we follow through on our bets because, it's time for you to pay up.
You've had too much fun.
Because of that one? Because of that one right there? Because I asked you about Josh Allen in that way?
You stepped the line,
I
Rich.
just poked the bear. Did I just, with that question, did I just knee you in the stomach, Cam? Is that what I just basically did right there? Is that what you're saying?
No,
Okay.
It was funny, though. I had Joey Porter on, and he brought up the situation, and he was like, keep that crap in the locker room. Don't even bring it up. And, we got to talking about it. I was like, all right, I'm just going to shut up about it. Joey's like my big brother. So, like, I gotta shut up and keep it moving.
All right. Then I will keep it moving on with the day. Is anybody going to beat Indiana in college football? Cam? Anybody going to beat Indiana? What do you think?
If we see them again, we'll beat them. I think.
You think so, huh?
Okay. Yeah. It's like the Oregon thing.
I do have to tell you. I see. Yeah, I mean, no, listen, two things. First of all, when I see Jeremiah Smith play football and they put his numbers on the screen, I think that they've had a typo. With 6'3", 223, running those routes is stupid. Yeah. Like, that's not – I honestly think it is a misprint, that there's something – and then there's Tate and this kid Bo Jackson, and obviously Sayin is doing his thing, and defensively – yeah, I mean, you're gonna see some of these kids next year. I mean, in the first round. I mean, in the Pittsburgh draft, where you're probably going to be part of it up there on the stage. You might be in the green room, and some of those, like Caleb Downs, is not going to sit in that green room very long next year. That is for sure.
I've known Caleb since he was like in elementary school. He's from Georgia. We all grew up, and to see him wind up back at Ohio State. His mom was a teacher at my high school, and so we've always been, pretty close with families. And Caleb's kicking ass. Like, Caleb is the premier safety, and watching his brother Josh, it's been really fun to see.
So you got the team. Ohio State has the horses to win it all. Plus, again, Cam, the last time Ohio State lost its last Big Ten game and didn't win the conference championship by the final score of 13-10, you won it all. So maybe it's just another time. You know what I mean? Okay.
Thank you, Rich, for poking back at that last game I won.
Cam is the best. I love him.
You know where to find me if you want me to put that jersey on. If I don't recall ever saying that I would do such a thing, but. Listen,
I will post that. I will post that.
Steelers Nation, this is the moment where things start to feel real again. After the dramatic victory in Baltimore that shoved Pittsburgh back into the driver's seat atop the AFC North, everything has shifted. The critics are quieter, the energy in Acrisure Stadium is rising, and Monday Night Football under the lights against the Miami Dolphins looms as a defining test for this Steelers team. Coming off that huge emotional win, Pittsburgh is poised to seize control and build real momentum toward the playoffs versus a Miami team that's red hot but still playing with desperation. Let's talk context. The Dolphins have won 4 straight and sit at 6-7, trying to stay alive in the AFC playoff picture. Their rushing attack has been outstanding late in the season, averaging over 190 rushing yards per game in the last few weeks. They've leaned on that power and consistency to pull themselves into contention as one of the hottest teams in the league. But history shows that when this Dolphins team faces road adversity late in the year, especially in cold weather, it often struggles. That's where Steelers' advantage could tip the scales. A hostile environment in the mid-teens at Acrisure Stadium, the frigid December winds, and a Steelers defense that's ready for a rugged slugfest. Meanwhile, the Steelers enter this Monday night as 3-point favorites, a reflection of respect for what they accomplished beating Baltimore and their hold on the AFC North. It's not just the record, it's the timing of it. This win over the Ravens showed that when the Steelers need to respond, they can. Their offense, led by Aaron Rodgers and complemented by a rejuvenated run game, showed sparks of life that had fans starving for momentum. And the defense, hungry to rebound from previous weeks, responded with the kind of physical football that defines Pittsburgh. One thing that ties all this together is how this Steelers team answers pressure and adversity. You don't go from a brutal showing against a dominant Bill Belichick-style team to a statement victory on the road in Baltimore without something inside you refusing to die. And that's not just about X's and O's. That's about identity. That's about brotherhood. That's about the culture Mike Tomlin has kept alive since he walked into this building almost 20 seasons ago. Even in moments when people questioned whether he still had the juice, whether the hot seat was real, and fans cried for change, the locker room never lost faith. That's powerful. That resilience is why they're still here. And this coming Dolphins game is more than just another matchup. It's a chance for the Steelers to stack wins, to add consistency after beating their biggest rival, and to remind the rest of the AFC that Pittsburgh refuses to be counted out. Sure, the Dolphins' defense has playmakers like Rasul Douglas earning Defensive Player of the Week honors, but the Steelers' offense has playmakers of their own, and when Rodgers connects deep and the run game gets going, this team can be unstoppable. Add in the emotional lift that's already coming from a crowd ready to see their black and gold break out the gold end zones and color rush uniforms in primetime, and you've got what should be one of those nights that Steelers fans remember for years. Yes, there are injuries. Yes, there are questions. But what matters most is how a team responds when the next step is right in front of them. Some analysts look at the Dolphins' success and point to their rushing yards, their momentum, their Player of the Week honors. That's valid. But you know what fans and insiders agree on? Beating the Ravens and maintaining first place with their destiny in their own hands is everything Pittsburgh needed. And now, with a win on Monday, this team could be looking at true consistency, heading into the final stretch not just as contenders, but as a team that believes it belongs in the playoffs and beyond. So, Steelers Nation, I want to hear from you. Do you think this win over Miami Monday night will be the spark that ignites a deeper playoff run? Can Rodgers and this offense finally find the rhythm we all know they're capable of? Are the lights at Acrisure Stadium about to shine brighter than ever? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if you're fired up, and don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Wire, because this ride is just getting started. Let's go!